Please remember to like, subscribe, and never forget to ring that bell. What is up, everybody? I am Chris Knight. This is Chaos Central's Andor Roundtable. We have the usual suspects. I think Nindroid is on his way. Geisgar has an open invitation, as always. We have TWTG in the house. Dandelion's in the house. I'm sure we'll have some more. We got a tweet out there. It's my pen tweet. Please, by all means, go and retweet it. Grab the link above if you want. Smash the like button. And join in our interactive, whatever you call them, what it is called. Oh, yeah, polls. That's it. Polls. So, how's everybody doing? Don't everybody speak at once.
Great.
All right.
Great. Great. Doing great. Good to hear it. Everybody, did you get the episode in, Austin?
Yes, like barely. With only a couple minutes to spare.
That happens. It's all right. I've done it before too. So let's go around and have everybody introduce themselves first. Austinator, please tell everybody about yourself.
Hello everybody, I'm the Austinator. I do things on my channel. I usually just do content when I feel like it. Yeah, thanks for having me on, Chris.
Not a problem. Positive Candor.
Yeah, what he said.
Oh, okay, very good. That's good. And Shifty.
Hey, I'm Shifty. I don't do things on my channel, but you can find me in the chat, or you can find me here, or whenever they end up having Name That Tunes, you can find me in the chat there, and that's about it.
Okay, and I am Chris Knight, Real Review 3000, yada yada yada. We're gonna put that first chat up there, or that first poll up there, guys. Please vote in that if you want. Let's talk about the whole episode, your overall thoughts, typical stuff. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first since I just watched it.
All right, go ahead.
Overall, it was a very solid episode. Again, it's been more or less this is like this, because we're in the middle of the third arc, which the third arc is going to sort of wrap up, next episode. There are some cool character introductions, such as Alfred, and I think we see Saul Guerrero talking with them. That was pretty fun. Like some more of the Mon Mothma stuff. I'll go into more detail on everything I'm saying, but overall, very solid episode, I gotta say. Also, it was really cool seeing Dedra meet up with the crying guy. It was almost like Splinter and Shredder meeting up for the first time. The two big bads finally joining up for the first time ever or something like that. I don't know.
But Splinter isn't a bad guy.
Or Shredder. What the fuck am I talking about? I'm off my game today, guys. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I lost my key last night, and I literally spent an hour today trying to look for it. So
You're muted, Chris.
Damn it. Chicken finger. Pulling a JJ. Anyways. You know what?
Hey,
what was that?
Can I point something out? I learned something this week. It's just speculation, but I was wondering about this whole prison arc because it doesn't seem like he's going to be able to. It would be rushed if he escaped next week. So I was looking around, and a lot of people are saying, I don't know where they came up with this, but the arcs are supposedly going like this. There was episodes 1 through 3, then 4 through 6. 7 was supposed to be a standalone. Then there's 8 through 10, and then they're going to cap it off.
Okay, hey, all right. Your mathing is no. We don't know. No.
I'm just saying that this is actually the first of a new arc this week.
It's still the same damn show, and it's still moving forward. It works with the one before, which worked with the one before that, which worked with the one before that. They're not like separate. If they were like beginning end, there is no end to the last one.
But
this.
Standalone, that's what they're saying.
Whatever drugs you were on, and whatever crazy like
I'm on the death stick.
Website you were reading
I'm on the
stuff from, you need to get away from it. QAnon is not the answer, man.
I'm also on the Revnog.
Of course you are. All right, really quick. Nindroid, tell everybody about yourself and then tell us your overall thoughts, please.
All right. You guys can just find me on my own YouTube channel, Nindroid243. Where over there I'll be streaming later on tonight. Galactic chat. So yeah.
What tonight?
Well, hang on a minute.
Okay. Well, let's move along. Are you okay, Nindroid? Good to go?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so quickly my opinions on it. I thought this was a solid episode. Prison stuff was good. Luthen stuff was great at the end. Mon Mothma stuff was just all right. That's really it. So, yeah.
Okay, very good. Positive overall thoughts.
Yeah, overall, yeah. I'd say another pretty decent episode for the most part. Little hiccups here and there, but otherwise, yeah, pretty good.
All right, very good. And yeah, you Shifty. Overall thoughts.
Me. This was a great episode.
Really quick. Give everybody the rundown about your name this week and your weird, crazy, like Andor head on Mandalorian.
This is a running joke. It started all on Galactic Chat where Nindroid and Austin Nader, they got Mando and Andor mixed up and they combined it into Mandor. So I just took it and just ran off with it. So, you got Mando and Andor and then Dormammu this week for Halloween. Next week, I got something special planned, golf related. I think you might know what might be. But this was a great episode. As was Tales of the Jedi. Everybody watch that. It's great. And especially if you're a Count Dooku fan, it's really good. Also, pay attention to what Yaddle says in the 4th episode, right before the title graphic, because
we are talking about overall thoughts about Andor.
Gotta pimp that Tales of the Jedi, man. Also, we had 3 big cameos this week. 3 big guest stars. Forrest Whitaker, Saul Guerrero, he was awesome. You had the unexpected yet welcome appearance of Andy Serkis, and the big one. I don't know how many people spotted him. The old man that played Olaf at the table in the workshop in the prison. That dude is the "Who Are You, Robber" guy from Batman '89. Pretty neat. Also, another point of interest this week in the background of Luthen's antique shop. Anybody spot the headdress of Padme that she wore in her wedding? It was back there. It was cool. That's it.
What was your overall thoughts? You just pointed out freaking things from the thing. Overall,
I told you about it. I opened with it. It was a great episode.
Okay, thank you. Oh, who dropped? Nindroid dropped. Oh, okay, well, okay, well, just because I have to right now to get him in there. Those death sticks are gonna kill you, dude. They're gonna kill you. They're gonna rot your brain out and make your eyes glow like that damn picture you got on there. I'm gonna go around going. Anyways,
you know what you just did? You showed me the Andor. You showed me the door Andor. Get it?
Oh god.
Don't let the Andor hit you on
Wow. Okay, my overall thoughts while he sits back there and maybe thinks about what he's done. What does that ever do for anything? Okay, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to think about how not to get caught next time. Oh, God, this is going to hurt.
what I've done. I haven't done anything. I'm not a part of it.
Okay. I did like the episode. There were a lot of really good things going on. A lot of good interaction between a lot of actually characters. The characters are all now kind of interacting with other characters that haven't been interacting with them yet. So it's a nice kind of cross into, that we had this group of characters, we had this group of characters. Now they're kind of mixed and matching, and I like that. So yes, very good. So we're going to start with we're going to go to our likes, and I will start with positive candor. Positive.
Okay. First, I like the scenes with Mon Mothma in it. I thought they were okay. That they're furthering that storyline. And of course, I definitely like Luthen meeting with Saw Gerrera. That was an interesting thing, and he's acting in character. I don't think even in Rogue One that he really ever agreed to really anything. For the most part, he's pretty much in character of not wanting to really stick his neck out for what sounded like a suicide mission that Luthen pretty much presented him with. And I did like the X-Wing that they showed. They flashed that like a quick second and you miss it type deal. It looked like kind of a black X-Wing there. It was just sitting there outside of his cave. So I like that inclusion because I didn't think X-Wings were around yet. I thought Y-Wings were always first, and then the X-Wings were like barely before episode, well, I guess 4 now, but the original.
I think the explanation for X-Wings were they were originally a concept for the Separatists. They tried to come up with it, but they couldn't, and it was actually a company that later on tried to present it to the Empire, I think, and then they nixed it and ended up in the Rebel hands. So I'm not positive. I'd have to look that up. But okay. Like that.
Yeah, it's possible. It could have been a prototype X-Wing because, it's not white. It was specifically black. So that is more of an Imperial color. So yeah, I could go with that if that's what it was. But then interesting, conflicting that is that they showed a Y-wing in Tales of the Jedi. But anyway, that Ahsoka specifically used. But anyway, getting off of that, what else happened in the episode? Bix, I guess, is being at the very end is being interrogated by Dedra. So I'm interested to see where that goes next episode. What is and then it's interesting that the two females are also now on Fenrix that survived the stealing of the credits thing a few episodes ago. So, and then they've basically been told to interact with Bix, I guess, whenever. So I guess we'll see that. I'm sure this coming episode, I would imagine. And then, yeah, the whole scene between Dedra and Cyril, I thought, oh my God, this guy cannot really catch a break. The crying cereal guy, because she basically says, forget again what the original guy said to him, forget about it. It's, and then basically she said, forget it, don't be sending any more inquiries, forget about it, and go back to being a meaningless guy working in that big complex he's working in, basically, is what she told him, pretty much.
Be your number, not a person.
Yeah, be a number, not a person type thing. So she flat out, because he said, hey, I can help you, I can do this. Like, but maybe depending on what they get out of Bix, she might come back to him. I get that. That's probably going to happen. And then what else happened? I thought the Luthen. I really like Luthen and Saw Gerrera. I thought that was interesting. Again, just their interactions with each other. And he wasn't on the planet that they eventually destroy, or I shouldn't say, they only destroy a part of it. Whatever, right? He's on a different planet, right? He's not on. He's not on Jeddah.
No,
because I would have recognized that he's on a different planet.
No, and this is the time when it's. I don't know. I don't know exactly where he's at, but yeah, I think it's more. This is, honest to God, this is probably. I would not be surprised if this is right about the time that he cut Jyn Erso out. So right about the time, because they were traveling a lot. He even talks about, he's like, I left you there because, and so he was traveling a lot more. I think it almost looks like a jungle like planet, didn't it?
Well, but there was caves there, so that kind of was similar to Jedi, but then they didn't name. I don't recall them naming Jeddah. I think it was some other planet name. But anyway, so and then the prison part was interesting at first of Andor, and then they said the hot floor thing when they locked them up in their cells. So yeah, they only have a certain amount of time before the floor turns hot, and then that one guy just basically killed himself because he couldn't handle it any longer. So that's basically the only way out of there, basically, at least for now. This is basically just jump on that hot floor and that's it, baby.
Indeed. All right. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Shifty.
Okay, regarding Mon Mothra, I like her scenes too because she's a attractive lady. But this week, I liked them even more because something happened. I noticed watching it back in the foreground. Let me scroll down because I was initially going to leave this for my final thoughts. But Mon Mothra's daughter, she was acting all shifty, looking around the foreground of the dinner party, eating her sandwich, and then she ran off out of the room there, and it was kind of weird. And I'm thinking because the last two times we've seen her, she's all anxious, so anxious to get out of that dinner party. I'm thinking maybe the argument that she and her mother had in episode 5 was a cover, and she's actually running surveillance for from her room, spying on all the people's conversations at the dinner party. So I think we may get that twist coming down the road. I thought that was pretty neat. This episode had a lot of great visuals, perfectly framed shots throughout. I would be pulling so many screenshots this week if I was doing video reviews of this show. It was just great throughout. The first scene with Cyril and Dedra was fantastic, super well directed. The two have great chemistry. I can't wait to see where things go for those two. The Saw Gerrera scene was amazing. This was before he was injured, so that hasn't happened yet. I don't know if we're going to see him again this season though. They may be saving him for next season. I don't. Saw Gerrera. I don't think Cassian's going to meet him yet. I think this is our only taste.
I don't know. Maybe.
Narkina 5, super cool looking prison planet, both on the surface and the inside. The inside has that sterile white THX 1138 look to it. Also reminded me a lot of Camino. And the first time I saw the trailer, I actually thought that was Camino, but then I realized, that's probably just been destroyed because of the Bad Batch. I think that took place before this show. And like I said, I don't know if Cassian is going to be able to escape from the next episode. It seems way too soon. But I think we're given a clue of if they do attempt to escape, that there was that clue before he went out into the workroom where they said that the tech station was under guarded, and that's why one of the guards was late. So they may be planting seeds for them to go over to this tech station and at some point, and that may be their way out. I just don't think it'll come down to Dedra finding his picture on the police records and coming and get him out like that. That would be too easy. There's got to be an escape or something. But yeah, it was a great episode. I actually have some dislikes this week, so.
Okay. I think that, the escape seems more likely or something along that line. Something's going to happen because they're giving hints to that. So, Austinator, go ahead.
All right, well, I'll start off with the elephant in the room. The Dedra and the crying guy scene. It was actually kind of humorous because he's just like, "Oh, please, let me help. Please, let me help you with Andor." And she's like, "No, go back to your deadbeat job, you idiot." And I'm like, "Whoa, slow down there. The guy just wants to help." He's like, "Please, I want to help." Then she's like, "No, go away. Shoo. I don't want to see you ever again." I thought it was an interesting scene because these are two characters that have a similar goal, but at the same time, it's almost like they're trying to go about it in their own way, I guess you could say. Like, because you have Dedra who has the Empire backing her, she has all these resources, whereas Crying Guy, he's really got nothing. He's just relegated to, well, crying into a cereal bowl with 5 pieces of cereal and just an entire jug of blue milk. So, I mean, it's kind of, you feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, it's like, well, that's what you get for crying. Andy Serkis was interesting. I like the prison stuff, where they have the floors and like you get shocked. Like it's like a giant taser, I guess you could say, but it's not really a taser though, but it kind of is. And seeing Andy Serkis there, kind of being the leader of Andor's group, I guess you could say, I thought that was really interesting. I'm like, oh shit, that's Andy Serkis, that's Alfred. And just seeing how life is like in the ship, and how in order for them to take showers, they have to have like mist like dropped on them to shower, which I think is very interesting. So it's like, I guess they're not like getting washed, it's more like they're getting fumigated, which was sort of interesting. I couldn't tell what they were building though, but it looked. Is it parts for the for their TIE fighters, or is it something else?
It's something like that. It's obviously something mechanical that has to do with that. I'm not sure. I'll look it up while you keep talking.
But I thought that was very interesting. I liked. So we're back on Ferrix again, which we're seeing more of these characters, and of course, the mother fell ill, which it's like, well, gee, I wonder where this is going. You know, we I think we called it last episode where.
Oh, interesting.
Where she's like, oh, I'm fine, and then they're like, no, she's like really ill, and I'm like, wow. So that kind of goes back to the last episode where she's like, I'll die for the cause, where she's literally gonna die for the cause. It's and also the stuff with Luthen I think is really great too. Just him being like, well, what do I do here? It's like I feel vulnerable, but then he has his assistant tell him, well, you know, when you're doing like this like amount of, I guess, of a distraction, or not necessarily a distraction, but like kind of firing the first shot against the Empire, like you're now in the open. Now you're gonna have to be vulnerable. And more or less, I guess his theme throughout the episode is like, well, am I a coward or not? And then he going to talk to Saul Guerrero about, oh hey, I need you to talk to this guy for me, and Saul Guerrero's like, no, like I don't want to. I'm not doing it because I don't want to put anybody else at harm. Like I'll do it myself. And then Luthen's like, well, how about I give you all this stuff for free? And then Saul Guerrero's like, no. And then Luthen gives a speech about how, you know, he's a coward, but, you know, also Saul Guerrero is a coward. And I love that entire like speech of saying just, you know, I'm a coward, but, you know, he's still trying to do something about it, which it's a very, very very just great scene. The Mon Mothma stuff was great because again, she's still keeping up that facade of, oh, I have to be like she's obviously part of the rebel cause, but at the same time she's got to keep face. She has to stay, you know, like, oh, I'm part of the Empire kind of. And then you see her interacting with the guests where you could tell she's got like this fake face on, and she's talking to her friend, and, you know, obviously. And what's very interesting though too is the husband also had like he's suspecting something's going on, because after she's like talking to the guest about her looking out the window a ton of times, and then you see she walks away, but then the husband has like this like look of like either he knows, but he's like, it's very telling of like he at least knows something is going on. So I thought that was very nice foreshadowing. Overall, I think those are all my positives.
Okay. Very good. Well, I guess Nindroid. I'm not sure if Nindroid will be back or not. If you want to check Ostinator, just so we know. Yeah. I think a lot of the interactions were really good. It says here that those parts are either to a TIE fighter, or like some people are suggesting like an Imperial probe droid or a Viper droid, which is interesting. I would think that it would be more like I would say probably a TIE fighter. But I like the interactions that we got. Oh, excuse me, guys. I like the interactions that we got with everybody in this episode. The Cyril's character obviously is going to end up helping and working with the Empire. I have a feeling they're going to go, something major is going to happen on the planet Ferrix, is it? Is it Ferrix?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So Ferrix, something's going to happen there. It's going to escalate the situation, probably put her job in danger, because now, even though it was already started to go that direction, now that she's in charge of that region, she'll have to answer for it. And she'll realize that the best thing to do is to use him in a way that will make it better. I don't know how that's going to end up for Cyril, but he's going to like it to start because he wants Andor. Ultimately, I would almost say this boils down to Cyril is Andor's arch nemesis. That guy that he never won against, and Cyril just wants to. Doesn't matter how he has to do it, who he has to align himself with. Almost like wrestling. Almost like a wrestling thing. I'm not a bad guy, but I'm going to join the bad guys because they're going to help me get back at this person or something like that, you know? And that's very much what's going on here. Cyril's out for his own ends. He's out for what he wants, to clear his name. And if it means going to the Empire, getting to, doing whatever he has to do with the Empire. That he'll do that because his only thought is I want to clear my name, and probably wants to step on Andor's throat and smash it. Probably. I think that the Saw Gerrera scene was very, very good, and if you've ever played Jedi Fallen Order and you see the parts that he's in that. He's more, at that time, he's still working with the rebels and stuff like that. By this time, it's obvious that he's like, no, I do my own thing. I'm not going to, he's not going to jeopardize anything that he wants for what he later on says is the cause. And I think when we see him later in Rogue One, that cause he realizes is, no, we're all on the same side. That moment right before he dies, he realizes, no, we all have to work together now. And by that time, it's too late. Right now, he is full on, if it isn't for me, if it doesn't help me in my fight, I'm not going to do it. Luthen, there's some interesting parts in this with Luthen, because he is kind of stuck. I think he took Andor in on curiosity and also thinking that he could do what he ended up helping do. But now he's worried that he's kind of out there and nobody knows where he's at. So what's he doing? Is it going to come back and haunt him? Mon Mothma, her deal going on, I like it because she basically, they've already started this funding of some sort where he takes the funds and puts it in. And now she knows that the Empire's found it. They know that the money's there. And he's just going to come up with a reason and say, oh, yeah, well, no, right there. Yeah, we know that's there. And she's like, they're going to see it. They know about it. She's worried about that. Now she has this $400,000 on her hand. And she tells him about it. And they kind of talk. And then he leaves. And then he disappears. I wonder if he isn't captured already. The part that Shifting brings up about the daughter, interesting. I don't think that's the way it's going to go, but I do think there's something else going on there. There's a reason why she's being this. I mean, other than being just a teenager, but there's a reason why she's doing that. So, there's that. Like I said, the whole thing on Ferrix where Dax is there and they're talking to his mother, and I guess it looks like she's going to end up dying, which is fine. But obviously she's still trying to figure out, the tunnels and all that stuff. I wonder if they won't have her die in Andor's arms. Seems like the type of thing they're trying to lead to. But the stuff going on Ferrix, what's going on, Tim? Good to see you. Stuff going on Ferrix right now with the two people who were with him on the Eye Planet. Anyways, those people obviously know more about him Because, well, I guess that's because she got the information on who he is, so they've tracked him down, or at least tracked where he was down. And again, I like the interaction that's about ready to happen. Now, yes, they haven't interacted yet, but something does tell me that it's going to be those two girls that are going to break her out of there, out of that hotel. Kind of feel like that's going to happen. So, those are my, those are a lot of my likes. There's just some really cool things going on. I like the prison concept for Andor. What's going on here, and I do like how they showed that he went from obviously being really scared, because it's like 1 second he's on the beach and like 24 hours later he's in this prison where he's been shot twice. Now he's watched somebody die, and there's a lot of that stuff going on. So I'm interested to see what that's going to bring. But yeah, so let's get to our dislikes. We'll start down there with the Austinator. Austinator, please start with your dislikes.
Oh God, it's me. Well, I would say I wouldn't say it's really a big negative, but I would say the ending, because I feel like it just like ends. You know what I mean? Like, it just ends with like Andor just like standing there, and he's like building a thing. It was like, all right, I guess I could see what they're going for, but at the same time, it's like we had like 7 minutes left. I'm like, Jesus. Like, this is my problem with like some of these shows. Like, their credits, like, they go on way too long. Like, that's kind of like, it wasn't a big problem with the last few episodes, but this one I was kind of like, really? 7 minutes of credits? Like, okay, I guess. Not a big fan of that, but other than that, I don't know if I necessarily really have any major negatives. I think they're just mainly nitpicks, but really other than the ending, I'm just like, it was a solid episode, so that's really all my negatives, to be fair.
Okay. Very good. Positive candor. Negatives.
Well, I did think that, in a way, I don't know if this is necessarily negative, but I'm way more interested in the side characters than Andor. Because to me they're more interesting. At least, even though this is his show and everything, I'm way more interested in the other characters and stuff than him. I mean, and granted, he's in at least half of the scenes and everything for sure. But I don't know. I mean, I almost could care less about how he gets out of the prison. I mean, in a way, I hope he rots there for a few episodes.
Really?
Yeah.
Positive. Yeah, you're so mean.
Damn, that's
Look at you! Look at you in your picture, holding baby Grogu with a smile, being so nice and accommodating and loving.
Yeah.
And
well, that's baby
you
Grogu.
just said you want somebody to rot in hell and in prison.
Yeah, he deserves a rot in prison. Just for being an idiot that he is. I mean, I said, he has the worst look since Jar Jar as far as the main character. But
that's good.
So yeah, he gets what he deserves. So yeah, I don't if this is the first of a 3-part thing and he don't get out to episode 10, good. That's what he gets. He gets what he deserves. But because I'm way more interested in the other characters anyway. And then
is this not a question for you? Is this not more about the building of the world and the rebels more now? I mean, to me, watching it, is that more what it's about? It's using Andor as the vehicle and that character as the vehicle, because we already know what happens to Andor. So is that not is this just a vehicle to show more people?
Yeah, and unfortunately, they already have a show called Rebels, Otherwise, that would be the perfect title for this.
Very true. Well, could they have done that? But that was a cartoon. They could have done it as a live action.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Or call it
Okay.
Rebellion or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Something. Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, it's yeah. I'd rather have it titled Rebellion than Andor. Because, like I said, I'm more interested in that, in the rebellion part of it, than Andor story.
Mm.
So that's my major thing. And yeah, like I said, I'm really losing huge interest in Andor. Like I said, I could care less what the hell happens to him anymore, because I know he's going to get out of it anyway, so it doesn't matter. And so he's uninteresting. That's the problem. When you know,
You do
when
bring
you
up
know,
a really good point. I mean,
yeah, when you have plot armor, you are a very uninteresting character to me.
for
And so yeah, that's the problem with the show. The main problem is, yeah, I'm way more interested in the other characters than him, because and knowing that he dies eventually, he's super uninteresting. So that makes it even worse in a way. But yeah.
anything else?
Well, I mean, I think his sister, despite what his mom said, is still around. I think, like I said, like you said, the Empire probably took her. And whether they turned her into Deidre and Deidre is the sister, I guess we'll find that out eventually. But no, that's it.
Okay, very good. And Shifty.
Okay, this isn't quite a dislike. It's more of a
Nitpick.
something like, yeah, it's something like they anytime anything brings in time travel or time jumps, I overanalyze the thing and I keep on asking questions like, well, why did they do that, and why does it affect this? And I start thinking about all the the ways that it affects the situation. We found out a month had passed since the heist, and then another month passes after that scene when you see the days go down by 30 shifts. It goes from 89 down to 59, so that's 30 days. 2 months. So the scene right after that is the scene in Ferrix where Sintra and Vale are seemingly just now showing up to the planet and staking it out. What were they doing for the past 2 months? Because Luthen's sidekick there, she gave her, she told her to go kill Cassian last episode. They know that he's from Ferrix. I mean, they should have been there like 2 months ago, or at least a month ago, or 2 months ago. And they're just now showing up. That didn't sit right with me. I don't know what was going on there. And also you got to think Dedra's investigation is moving at a snail's pace, because I mean, 2 months. I mean, they haven't seen Cassian's face in the system. I mean, they hasn't had a match or anything pop up. It's weird. You go back and think about that stuff. But I guess it's a slow burn investigation. I don't know. It's weird that they even brought up that second time jump. I don't know. It's just a nitpick.
Okay, anything else?
No, it's a good show.
All right. My worry and the dislike is that I think they're holding off on a lot of stuff that should have happened already, and going to save it for season 2. Possible. Cyril should have been brought in, and they said, listen, she should have turned around and said, you know what? Fine. You can help us, but you're not officially, part of this investigation or anything like that. But because he has some knowledge, and I mean, let's be honest, with the fact that whoever did the one guy that faked the report and made him sign it. I mean, you would think this guy's your best bet to go in there and ring up one guy, look good. I mean, because let's be honest, the Empire loves it when you basically hang another Imperial officer out to dry. They love it. You see it in every movie. When one dies, the next one's ready to step up because they believe they should be there. That's what the Empire's about. So this is right up the alley of the Empire or an Imperial officer. Get this guy, hang the other guy out to dry, become a bigger part of what's going on, and eventually fail. I mean, that's what they all do. They eventually fail, and she'll probably end up failing and dying or something. I don't know. But I don't know why they pushed him off to the side again. It's like, dude, this guy's going to be doing something like this. This is going to be where this goes. Why do we keep on sending him back to his desk and sending him back to his Cheerios? It's like, yeah. Just let this guy's story keep going, please. And not just, ooh, we're ready to go. The light's going to turn green. Light's going to turn green. No, it's still red. That's literally how I felt in this episode with him. And, I mean, other than that, I get what Positive's saying about not caring about Andor. I like Andor as a character, and I like that they're using him as the vehicle to introduce us to either new characters or characters we've known, but giving us more in depth to those characters, or more depth to those characters. So, I'm okay with that. But other than that, I mean, I'm not sure what killing the mom off right now would do. So if they kill her off in the next episode or two, I'm not really sure what that would do. That's why I say I think Andor's gonna see her before that happens. But I think my biggest thing is just keeping Cyril in this, like, down boy, down, no, back, you're not, no, not doing that yet. Maybe not right now. Stop, sit down. That's literally what they're doing to that character. Of all the characters, his character has one of the highest potentials in this series, and they're not using it. So that kind of to me seems like a waste. But whatever. Let's talk about final thoughts and your grades. Final thoughts and your grades. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Very good. Ostator, final thoughts and grade.
I think I'm just gonna go flat B. I think it was a good episode. It was more of like a setup episode. Next week, and I think Shifty brought this up earlier. I feel like you kind of, I don't want to see Andor escaping next episode, because then it just feels like you're kind of rushing a little bit. So I mean, maybe you could end off on a cliffhanger, maybe with an episode. Well, actually, no, because you got 3 episodes after that. So I'm just kind of intrigued next episode on how they're gonna handle Andor either breaking out. Like, I feel like he's gonna be in the plot. They're gonna make the plan to break out next episode, and maybe he'll break out episode 10. Not really sure. I feel like Luthen is gonna try and assemble some people, or at least like try to basically have another, like, make a new assault, not necessarily assault, but just plan a new, like, heist of sorts.
Real quick question for you. Do you think that this heist, or whatever it is he was talking to Saul Guerrera about, do you really think that's his thing, and he's just trying to find, like what he did with Andor? It was always his thing, and nobody really knew what was up, but he was like the mastermind of it all. Do you think that maybe that's what he's trying to do, is use Saul Guerrera like he used Andor?
Something like that. I don't know. Maybe in like similar ways, but I don't know if it would have been fully the same, because Saul Guerrero and Andor are kind of 2 different people. So it is really, so maybe he has like a certain way to go about it. I'm not specifically sure. I do think by the end, the crying guy is gonna at least have. Well, I guess his name is Cyril, but I'll call him crying guy still. I feel like either towards the end or like in season 2, he's probably gonna be not necessarily the main villain, but he's gonna have more of like he's gonna go after Andor in some form or fashion. The mother probably will probably pass. I don't know when. Maybe episode 10, like 10 or 11, I'm gonna guess is when she's gonna pass, because I can't see Andor not being there in a way. Other than that, I think those are really the only predictions I have thus far.
Okay. Positive. Final thoughts, predictions and grade.
Yeah, I'll go. Solid B as well. I don't. They all seem to be about pretty even as far as each episode. So it's not getting worse, but it's not spectacular either. At least not yet. And then I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Like I said, Andor sticking in jail until probably episode 11 to me. But anyway,
Okay.
but yeah, I figure he'll get out probably episode 10. It's either 10 or 11 that he gets out. It's one of those two, because they ain't gonna save it for the last episode. That's for sure, unless they really rush that episode. So, and then the biggest 180 for a character will be crying guy to maybe close to dying guy or something. I don't know. But because I imagine he'll semi join the Empire in a way, but he'll eventually die. So yeah, I'll go from crying guy to dying guy. There you
go. Interesting. Shifty. Final thoughts, predictions. Great.
I was originally going to give us a B plus, but the more I think about the time jumps and all the nitpicks I have with that, I'm going to have to knock it down to a B. Because now I'm thinking, like, they gave us a clue about the tech section being under the staffed, and that might be how they escape. But you had that time jump of 30 cycles or 30 ships or whatever, 30 days. The Empire didn't send any more people for that section. That's another thing you got to think about. And that plus, Centra and Vale taking them 2 months to get to Ferrix. Yeah, I got to knock it down to a B.
And predictions?
No, not. I really. This is no, because I mean, really, I don't think he's going to break out next episode. I just don't see that happening, and I think maybe, like you said, Bix will get rescued by Centra and Vale, but yeah, it's going to be a surprise what happens next week.
Yeah. For me, hold my beer. A minus. This sets up a lot more. It adds more intrigue to my Mothma, because the guy just kind of where's so and so, I can't remember the guy's name. I'm sorry, but where's this guy? Well, I think he left. The fact that the husband answered about that, and the husband's always looking over his shoulder after she walks away, like, what's she doing? And maybe, like I said, maybe Shifty's right, that the daughter might be working with her father or something like that. They might be working for the Empire. Maybe they're working for somebody else. Who knows? Maybe that's what's going on. I don't know.
No, I think the daughter's working with the Mom Mothra. I think the whole argument was. I think the whole argument was a cover to make the father think that she was on his side.
Maybe, I don't know. Well, we'll see. But I do see that something like that might be going on with the daughter. But the husband definitely thinks something's up. So he may have already turned this guy in or said, because if he's being investigated, the money's being investigated. It wouldn't surprise me if he left or somebody kind of got him out of the way somewhere, like, hey, come over here and talk to me. And then they just kind of whisked him away. Maybe. So that's interesting. Yeah, it kind of has that plot armor though of Andor, because I mean we see her in several movies after this, so we know she's fine. So I don't know really how far that could go. I mean, maybe you could put her in peril, but she's going to be okay. I think that the team that's working together with Andor, I think one or two of them, and even the guy, is that Andy Serkis that played the leader there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. It's so hard to know because this guy's always, he's like, is that him really? Because I don't know, he looks different in everything he does, or he tries to. Anyways, I get this weird feeling like he might help get him out of there, or there might be a couple of those guys he might take and get out of there. Maybe.
I don't know. They said his time was only like 240 days left.
Yes, but I've read some stuff online that states that perhaps he's there not because he wants to be there, but because maybe Luthen had something to do to help him get in, because he's trying to gather intel about, because like we said, we don't know. Maybe this is the Empire, since it's weapons or a factory. There's something there that Luthen wants to know about. Now, if it's the TIE fighter, perhaps even if he isn't the one that helps him get out, if Andor gets out, perhaps he finds a TIE fighter and that's how he gets out. I don't know.
Wait,
we know.
So,
what?
Do you think maybe Luthen was behind Andor getting tossed into prison?
I wouldn't go that far because I don't think Luthen knows where Andor's at, and I don't think that Andy Serkis's character could get anything out to him. So it's kind of like perhaps this is a happenstance that it happened like this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I've seen something about that. This is kind of something that was set up. And it's something like that. Like if it is the TIE fighter, if it's a TIE fighter place, that if Andor gets out, which we already know he's been looking at those boots. When he first went into that pod, he looked at those boots that are just right off to the side. That's like keeping your guns open in a prison like that. Those boots are the savior to everybody who can get a hold of them, because then you don't get shot. So why you keep those in the open, I think that should have been a dislike right there. Why you would keep those in the open right there? Because he's looking at it the whole time going like, okay, fine. It's like a Bond film, like they always put the one inept guard who's going to like, go to smoke a cigarette and he asks Bond for the fucking lighter. Oh yeah, here, I'll give you a lighter. Boom! Or whatever. It's like, anyways. But I really do think that Banks is going to get rescued by Vale and what's her name? Shifty?
Center.
Yeah. I think that they're going to, maybe not for the purposes she wants. I think that they'll make her think that Andor sent them and try to get her to help them find Andor. I think that's kind of what they're thinking. And maybe the other guy too, but I still think that before that happens, they're going to cause shit to go down on Ferrix. I really do think that Ferrix is a powder keg waiting to happen. And I think before we get to the end of the season, that is going to happen. So those are my predictions. And yes, I gave it an A-, people. I gave it an A- because I think this opens up a lot more possibilities for where different storylines will go. So anything else anybody else wants to say?
Nope.
No? Okay. Very good. Let's go around. Have you guys introduce yourself one more time. We'll start down with the one that's going to take the longest, and that's Austinator.
Hello, I'm the Austinator. I do things. Thank you, Chris, for having me on.
Very good. Then let's go to see who's going to be quicker than him. Let's do Positive Candor next.
All right. Positive Candor. Check me out on Twitter at Positive Candor.
That's close. It's like very close to Austinator. It's like almost exact. And Shifty.
I'm still Shifty.
I figured he would be close. I'm Chris Knight. The Real Review 3000 is my channel. You can check me out there, right there. I didn't put my background up today. I just realized that now. I was up again until 5 a.m. Thank you. And I slept like 2 hours, which is much less than my normal 3 to 4 hours. So that's why I'm kind of loopy. Anyways, there is no Name That Tune tonight, guys. If you're interested in that, we had to move it to next week because 3 of the people couldn't do it. And yeah, so check me out on The Real Review 3000. Check me out here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We have our Chaos Central shows. Chaos Conversation on Monday. Chaos List on Tuesdays. We should be starting that here again sometime soon. And my show, The Rule of 3, on Wednesdays, where we have the Final 5 Factor Fiction. You guys don't watch that, guys. I'm telling you. We just answered like freaking 15 of them at the end of the day, and we are very close in our tally on that. So, with that said, guys, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, watching, and thank you to my panel. And we will be back next Sunday.
Oh, did you ever go over the poll results?
Oh, no, I can go over the poll results. Let's see. The poll results are as such. If I can get to them. Let's see here. All right. First one. Did you like this episode of Andor? 50% said yes. 37% said eh. 6% said no. And maybe, not sure, question mark. 6%. Will Andor get broke out of prison or escape? Did you guys vote in that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So which did you pick? Broke out or escape?
Escape, but I think it's going to be a little bit of both, maybe.
When I say broke out, I mean something like Luthen or other people come in, get in, and break him out.
Okay. I said escape, but now I'm thinking broke out.
Okay. Austinator, what did you say?
I said escape.
Okay. Positive?
Escape.
Okay. And 54% said escape, 45% said broke out. Last, what was your grade for Andor episode 8? B minus, B or B plus got 60%. A minus or A got 20%. C minus, C or C plus got 20%. And F, D minus, D or D plus got 0%. So say what you will about the show. I really like this show. But I like this style of show. Again, very Blade Runner-esque, and I love Blade Runner. So it falls right in line with what I like. So that's why. But there you guys go. Thank you very much. We will be back next week at 8 p.m. Eastern here on Sunday on Chaos Central for the Andor Roundtable. Guys, thank you very much, everybody. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.